87 entries. We're down to 80 drivers competing here in the night program to get into that A main event, which will be 24 cars, 55 laps, $10,000 plus, but one Golden Driller coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. This is where that really intensity and anticipation starts to turn up to another level. Opening ceremonies are over. Clinton, the drivers are getting their fire suits on. We've got cars in the staging lane. The butterflies, if you didn't have them earlier, you have them now, because this is where it really matters. All these drivers trying to be one of those 24 to lock in.
Yeah, definitely. The energy inside this building has definitely just cranked it all the way to the max. I mean, we're there, and it feels like it's such a long week, but at the same time, I'm like, wow, we're already we're Saturday main events. It's over, and you're sad. So everyone trying to enjoy these last moments inside this expo building, and we have what is it, 9 races left, basically. It'll be
5.
See?
2 C's,
yeah.
2 B's,
and an A.
And one
It's going to be
A-main
insane.
event.
It's going to be great.
So turn the volume up to 11. Settle in, sit back, because we got some elimination races to go before we lock in on our final field of 24. Plenty of stories to follow. We had some epic soup runs earlier on in today, but now you're starting to see some of the megastars come out and get ready to put on their big shows.
Yeah, tip of the cap to Darren Nida, Mac Leopard. Mac Leopard, of course, setting the new history mark, 73 cars passed, something that I didn't have on my bingo card when we started the day today, but we quickly found out just how exciting Chili Bowl Saturday really can be when we have not one but 2 drivers go through 8 mains. And of course, that wasn't all that we saw. We saw a lot of big heavy hitters have issues. We've had some really intense racing. We have had a racetrack, Clint, I think, that has been really racy throughout the day today. For as many races and cars that we've had on the surface, we just got a nice little rework in. It's going to be nice and juiced up here.
Yeah, from the time I showed up, I felt like the racetrack's been super good. There's multiple lanes to race on. Even when we got the full rework before my F main, I was like, oh man, I'm stuck, but drove all the way towards the front, and the racetrack has been really good start to finish today. Normally I feel like on Saturdays we see a bit of a just wide, slick, kind of can't do anything racetrack, and we haven't had that at all today. So track crew just doing I think a few small touches to this thing realistically, and we're going to continue with that pattern.
It has been a fantastic week of racing here on FloRacing, setting records for viewership and such like that. We want to thank every single one of you who is tuned in for letting us come into your homes and be a part of your lives for all of the hours that you've been watching, whether you've been with us all through Monday, making a soup run all day today. This is it. 5 more races to go to finish out the storytelling for this fantastic week, the best week of the year. And, they set it up at the Chili's pre-race show. Our Super Bowl. This is it. Drivers from every different discipline you can think of. Nothing other than the Wild West shootout going up against to compete it. You want to be here? You are here, entered in this guy, trying to be the final guy getting that Golden Driller at the end of the night.
It's attracted some of the biggest stars in motorsports. We talked about just the representation across the country with 45 different states, but also 6 countries. It's an international, just absolute melting pot of motorsports enthusiasts, of race car drivers with talent that goes just unparalleled to any other event that I think you can really imagine. And you're right, Caleb. This is the Super Bowl for a lot of drivers. This is the big stage. It has launched the careers of so many drivers. Heck, we listened to Tony Stewart, our Grand Marshal here this year. He said, this was the event that really kicked off my career. I even made it to NASCAR, but it wasn't until I won this event that set me apart from the rest of the field. And so somebody else is going to maybe etch their name into the history books, or we continue on the story and the legacy of a driver getting another Golden Driller.
We have so many former winners still alive, still in the field with a chance, and so many young guns and people with a real shot to bring home their first Chili Bowl Nationals Golden Driller tonight. I think we've got a lot of time to tell that story and pull along through the storylines that we're going to have some fun. The A-Main's not going to be have a lack of anybody to watch. That's for sure. We'll have plenty of people to follow.
And we've had a lot of, almost the rise of some of the youth in this building. We had, I think, 85 Chili Bowl rookies once again, which that number continues to go higher and higher. Yeah. We may add a few more next year, but at the same time, they've stepped up to the plate. I mean, Mac Leopard is one of those Chili Bowl rookies that now is in the history books, at least for the time being, as far as the soup run. We had Jet Barnes, who's the current leader in the clubhouse as far as the Rookie of the Year in contention, as he's locked into a B main coming up in a little bit. So, Clint, it doesn't matter whether you're a rookie or veteran. Everybody's shown up to play here this week.
Absolutely. I mean, everyone brings their A game here, and you know, you're going to put your best foot forward because you get one shot at this and you got to wait another 358 days till you can do it again. So I know a lot of people would cut off their left arm to make this A main, and these guys know that going into these C mains and B mains, and they're going to do anything they can to make it happen.
Just look at the nervous anticipation you got going on there on the on-ramp, and, you know, some guys can sit there quiet, eyes closed. This driver just sitting there twiddling his fingers, doesn't know what to do with his hands.
That's Cale Drake,
Yeah, Cale Drake, and he's a guy who's been inside this building before and has gotten tour. Other drivers have chosen to come out and take a peek at it, looking at the bottom of the ramp. Amongst others, Briggs Danner, Shelby Hinton, Tanner Thorson conversing with Hunter Brady down there at the top of turn number 3 and trying to make heads or tails of what they're going to see coming up for Tanner in a B main here in just a little while.
It's easy to just stand there and overthink things too, guys. Like, you have all day to wait around and fidget and just do this, do that. You've watched every lap all day long, and you should know what you're going to have by now. But it's easy to stand there and kind of overthink, over-discuss, overanalyze, and dial yourself out. So that's where I think the veteran experience of a lot of these guys comes into play, to where you see them get it right. These winners, these A-main starters, they can continue to repeat that success.
A look at Brady Bacon right there in a staging lane as we'll check in with one of our fantastic pit reporters, Brian Ward. Who you got?
Well, guys, you were just talking about the drivers standing here looking at the racetrack, so we'll talk to some of them. Briggs, watching this track evolve throughout the day, tell me what your thoughts have been on what you've seen and what you're looking at right now.
Yeah, I don't know. Just kind of looking. Don't really know what we're looking for, but just keep an eye on it. Was really kind of surprised with how wide it got today and how much the top of 2 opened up, so they worked that a lot. And we'll be able to see with these first couple races what we think is going to happen.
Getting both of the ABR cars locked in, how was yesterday and just kind of planning for tonight's main event?
Yeah, it was great. Just super happy to be able to be a part of it and to be able to accomplish that for Alex. And CJ did a really good job Thursday night. So yesterday was easy. Alex he said it's kind of a headache having 2 cars in a pole shuffle, but it's a good headache to have. So yeah, we're really just looking forward to getting to the show. I hate sitting around and waiting, so we'll watch a couple races and see what we got.
All right, wish you the best of luck. We're going to move on down here. We're going to steal Shelby Hinton. He's talking to Brandon Boggs here. Shelby, what are your thoughts on this racing surface and your plan of attack in your next race?
It's what I was down here talking to him about. I'm just trying to see what they're doing, because every time they cut it like this, it's always a little different. It's not always the same. I mean, that, like right there, there's still standing water sitting on the top. So, I mean, you know that's going to be juiced. And it's still got that little ledge built up all the way to the center like it has had. But I don't know. I started pole the second C. I was trying to see how much they were going to do and how worn off it'll be by the time I get out there. And I don't know. It's one of those things where you're not going to know what you're going to do until you get to the first corner. So we'll see how it goes.
Going into your prelim night A feature and knowing that the track's going to be a little bit slicker and has had a lot of laps on it versus this one that's going to be a lot fresher, what changes do you make into the car, or is it more just your driving style?
To be honest, the way we're going about it is more of me adapting to it with my driving style, and, you know, because you got to be ready for when the track changes, so you can't change too much and sell out for a fresh racetrack when you know it's not going to be there the whole time. So we're just going about it how we normally do, nothing different, just same plan of attack. Bob knows what he's doing, so I got full faith in that man.
There you go, Shelby Hinton in one of the Beast cars. And I'm going to make my way down. You were mentioning guys in the booth earlier about Shane. I'm going to sneak over here. Tell me the stress level or the pressure you feel, or, you know, just your mindset coming into tonight.
Yeah, no real stress. I mean, I feel pressure just because I want all our guys to do well. You know, I feel like we've had a super strong week, and we just want to try and cap it off best we can. Got a lot of cars in really good positions to make this show, so I don't feel a lot of pressure. I know my drivers on this whole team are gonna hustle it. They've done a great job all week, so I don't know. I'm too old to feel pressure nowadays, but I just want, you know, the week to finish strong and hopefully cars can stay together. I can do a good enough job to give everybody, capable cars to be able to put it in the show, and then it's on from there.
Working on so many other cars, how does that either take away from or add to you being in the seat?
I don't know. I don't think it takes anything away. If anything, it just kind of wears me out throughout the week, but nothing, once you get in the car and you strap in, that doesn't really matter. I feel like everything, the adrenaline takes over or whatever, and I don't ever feel any fatigue or anything like that. But yeah, it's definitely a long week, but I enjoy it, or else I wouldn't be here. I like working with our team. All of our drivers are really cool to work with, and yeah, this is way too much work to not be having fun. So that's what I always prioritize every year.
All right, well, speaking of your drivers, I got another one that just walked up. Ryan, they talked about your car a lot early in the week. It's had a little bit of rest. Tell me what it's like coming into tonight and how prepped that car is.
The car's good. We were here early, got everything turned around, got all the cars ready, got tires ready. The team's ready. You get to walk around with your state. You get to see the fans. They're into it. We're into it. And we're just really excited to be in the position we are.
Ryan Bernal, part of that Matt Wood Racing group. Guys, drivers are heading up the ramp. We'll probably see them getting in cars and rolling down here shortly.
Thank you so much, Brian. And just looking at his interviews there at the end with Ryan Bernal and also Shane Golobic, it is a Matt Wood fest here in the B features. We've got, 4 of them? They're kind of split between the two. We've got Kobe Copeland on the pole, the second one with Shane right behind. You've got Ryan Bernal inside of row number 2 with Darren Pittman on the outside of the front row in the first one. So a lot of eyes are going to be on those 2 B mains coming up.
Yeah, very, very busy B mains coming up for that team. But they had drivers run very, very well in prelim night A mains, so that's what'll happen. The question is, you got the right resources in place to make that go through, and everything looks pretty good so far as they're concerned. They're right to your Flying A Motorsports picture. Obviously, you know where the Keith Kunz Motorsports pit is. The Matt Wood Racing is directly across from them. And if you still have that many cars going this late in the evening, even though you're here to win, you do still feel some sense of accomplishment that you got so many more of your race cars running at this point in time in the show.
Definitely. It's hard enough to just, race. We call it the nighttime portion, the CBA, and to have your cars in contention, that's a huge accomplishment in itself. Just give yourself a chance and then see what happens. I think a veteran like Shane understands that. He knows that there's no need to panic. There's no need to change what they're doing. They have fast enough race cars. You just maybe didn't get it done on your prelim night. And so here's your second chance to get in the show and see what you can do from there.
Boy, it is packed back there still, even with some drivers, putting the car in the trailer and being ready to haul out of here as soon as they can get their tow rig in and hooked up and going. It is just jam-packed here in the Expo Raceway. We need to take a timeout. We're coming back. C-Main number 1 and C-Main number 2 are next up on the program. The 40th Annual Chili Bowl Nationals, powered by NOS Energy Drink, continues next on FloRacing. All right, time for the heart rate to raise a little bit again as guys, We have got midgets down the ramp on the racetrack for C main number 1. C features will be 15 laps. Top 5 finishers will transfer into the back of their associated B main ahead of them. So the top 5 finishers here going into the back of B main number 1. It is a 20-car field. Jacob Boxell on the pole, Ronnie Gardner next to him, Jacob Denny and Jake Swanson in row number 2, JJ Yaley and Gary Taylor in row 3, Austin Wood and Matt Sherrill in row number 4, Bradley Cox and Jonathan Beeson making up row number 5, the 11th and 12th starters Trey Zorn and Mario Klauser. 13th starter Brady Bacon to his outside from Gold Coast, Queensland, Australia. It's Harry Stewart. Final of the lock-ins was Ty Gibbs out of Huntersville, North Carolina. And then your D-main move-ups. Joel Myers Jr., Cale Drake, Mason Hannigan, Gunnar Setzer, and Steven Shabester. Big C-mains. Lots of talent, lots of incredible race cars.
Yeah, these races, Caleb and Clinton, are A features anywhere else across the country. You get this deep into the program at the Chili Bowl, these are just absolutely stacked. I mean, arguably, you really could say that about the Ds, and even some of the Es had a lot of talent, but this is where you got to get up on the wheel if you're going to make a move to the front. Again, we're going to go 15 laps with the top 5. If you can get to the B feature, you get a little bit more help with some extra laps and some more lock-in spots with 7 going on to the A, but this is absolutely treacherous waters here just with the pure talent we have on the racetrack.
It's nuts. It gets really hard to drive by these guys. You're going to have, the cars in front of you making less and less mistakes. So to see these guys, make a quote-unquote soup run from here is going to be really, really difficult, but not impossible.
Nobody on more than 1 at the moment. So 1 feature and through for our transfers. That is it. Not expecting anything. So the records that we set early on today for cars past, main events 1 and mains run is all locked in at least until next year. Mac Leopard and Darren Nida setting soup run records earlier with 9 features contested. Leopard winning 4 of them, an all-time high, and 73 cars passed was the unofficial number that I saw for Mac, setting a new record. JJ Yaley, the guy who got eclipsed on that one, going off the inside of row number 3. And for Yaley, all right, his name is no longer in the top of the record books, but boy, he could sure make a showing here and put that car into the A main through a C through a B if possible.
Yeah, I thought he looked really good on his prelim night. I mean, started on the front row for Rossi Petty Motorsports. I mean,
he did have a flat tire, that low left rear also that set him back. So
yeah, so
maybe more speed than it shows in that race car. And JJ had a great year outdoors this year. First year in a while we've seen him running, sprint cars outside again, and more than just showing up one time a year. So it didn't take long for JJ to kind of get back in form, and I think people maybe forget how good he used to be and how dominant he was back in the mid-2000s.
Absolutely incredible race car driver, and you're right, he has spent a lot of time behind the wheel of a stock car leading up into this year. This year, like you said, got some more seat time, and that's important when you're doing this thing as Yaley, one of those naturally talented guys, and if you can get him used to that feeling between your feet, your hands, your butt, your brain, right, get that all firing on all cylinders coming into the week, you're set up for more success going towards the end of it.
I mean, and he knows what it takes. 8-time Chili Bowl main starter, been coming here since 1994. I was 2 years old. That's when JJ Yaley started coming into this building, which is pretty incredible, and continues to perform. He's been in the C main the last 3 years, so this is familiar waters for him. I think his best shot to get out of it and get back close to the feature here.
So Yaley inside row number 3, stacked up behind some pretty darn good drivers in row number 1 and 2. Jacob Boxell, one of the big surprises here of the Chili Bowl Nationals this year, front row out of Indiana to his outside. Ronnie Gardner really rallied to save his preliminary night, making that A feature, and a nice upfront starting spot for Ronnie outside row number 1, the Corona, California driver with the Indiana Pacers scheme. Looking forward to seeing him going side by side with Boxell. Talking about California for 1 second, I need to jump into my text messages as we were going through opening ceremonies tonight. We recognized Smiley Sit, and Smiley, I'm going to miss you so terribly much. He always ended every single one of our phone calls with a thanks, pal. And it was genuine every single time. So, Smiley, we miss you. I got my red polo on for you today, buddy, and I hope you enjoy this A-main event. We also lost Don Fike today, owner of the RFMS number 3 that AJ Fike ran at so many Chili Bowls. He was an A-main starter a number of times. They were a prelim night winner with Darren Hagen once, and the USAC National Paper Championship with Hagen. So, AJ, Aaron, if you guys are watching tonight, we're thinking of you guys, and hopefully this gives you some entertainment. You can take your mind off the sack for a minute.
Absolutely. Well said. We're going to hot lap this first seat feature, of course, after the track rework. Not a major farming job, as I like to call it. At the same time, we're in this thing primed and ready for the final 5 races of the 2026 Chili Bowl Nationals.
I think it's important in these hot laps to run the top. Make sure these guys get it ran in. I know I spent some time up there in my hot lap session earlier, and I think that was really important on just getting that lane of the racetrack ready to go.
Chris and I spent a lot of time talking about that prior to the F-main events that had started. Not just getting up there and running it, but you had guys up packing it. And then you had a couple who dove off into the work area, which gave you another, 6, 7 laps of just wheeling around 2x2 and track packing it the whole time.
Yeah, definitely. And these guys, same thing right here, I think should get up and just roll those crumbs back in. That bottom side tries to dirty the top up. So it's important to get up there and roll those crumbs back in, get it packed back in, and then that'll help you when you go up there for your first time.
They want them in 2x2 right now already, but you can see a number of drivers putting their right side right into the crumbly stuff and trying to nail that down. That way there is an outer groove. You're not just waiting on somebody to miss the bottom. You can do something to try to drive around them if you got the superior run. We'll find out if they were successful. Why? They're doubling up, and we are going to see the one to go signal very soon here. A couple more people to get into place, and then we're going to be off and running with C feature numero 1.
Can't imagine the nerves for Jacob Boxell here in his rookie Chili Bowl campaign. Of course, had a big outdoor year, but man, to start on the pole, the night program, the C feature with drivers like Ronnie Gardner to your outside. You've got J.J. Yaley, of course, Jonathan Beeson coming from deep, GT. It's nuts. And then you've got a lot of talent that had to transfer their way too, as well as with Cale Drake, Brady Bacon at the back, Ty Gibbs as well. It's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait to get there.
The absolute star of the shootout, Jonathan Beeson, outside row number 5. You remember what a miserable prelim night he had. D to C to B, and finally got her in the A, and his hard work put him outside row number 5 here in this C feature. He's got to get up to 5th if he wants to advance, as the lights are out in Tulsa.
Boxell and Gardner, your front row for this one, C feature number 1 at the Chili Bowl is underway.
Lower lane got the good start. They're kind of getting strung up at the top.
Oh, Jonathan Beeson getting hooked in the back, and trouble here. It looks like Joel Myers Jr. getting pinched to the outside. Shibester comes to a stop. Mason Hannigan in the 71. And the 45 also coming to a stop there as well.
Bradley Cox?
Yeah.
Beeson ends up getting unhooked. Go ahead.
Flat left front for Bradley Cox as Joel Meyer Jr. is kind of pinned on the left or the right front of Bradley Cox in the fence. Work crew's working on kind of getting these guys untangled here on the backstretch into turn number 3.
So they're rolling them through the infield right now as we watch the K1 Race Gear replay. That means 3 and 4 is not going to get any attention, but right now, Clinton, all of those guys can go up and pack in the top of 1 and 2, and hopefully that's what they're doing.
Yeah, I think. See if our camera guys can pick up on it. I thought I saw Ty Gibbs would have a flat left front after all that melee.
Yes, he does.
There he is. He stopped. So
I was going to say he stopped right here on the
whole
entrance of turn
axle's
3.
knocked out of that thing.
Oh, yeah, look at the shock angle on that. Gross.
They hate that for Ty. He was looking forward to this opportunity. Had a monster shootout.
It's going to be a broken left front radius rod, which is fixable. If that axle's not bent and you just replace that left front radius rod, then you can be okay here.
Clint just looked at the axle at a quick glance, looked straight, but the radius rod definitely mangled inside the Monster Energy drink number 84. And they're already tending to it in the work area here. Joel Myers Jr. rolling into the work area, as is Bradley Cox with that flat right front.
I'd imagine at this point in the night you do get 60 seconds, so forget that left front tire. I get your radius rod first. If you have time to do both, you certainly can, but...
Clint just asked, they do get 60 seconds of guaranteed time.
Thank you, Blake.
This is where those tight confines, all that work that needs to happen in the left front is hard on these midgets. Look how many hands you got in there, and there's just no space.
Yeah, they're going for a tie rod also. Chad Boat there.
While they work on Gibbs' left front, Bradley Cox needs to change his right front tire. He got a flat when they were hooked together. They've got the mud cover off that was punctured, but they're slow working here on Cox.
We're going to have to pick up the pace here. Yeah, we've doubled them up here. They're going to come around. That clock has already started.
It will be 60 seconds from the time that Cox went to the work area.
They're trying to get that tie rod across, but just look at the tight quarters.
Yeah, they're trying to get the Heim off the right front on that tie rod right now. That's what's stuck over here, but I could see it stuck through behind the axle, the new one ready to go in.
You've got 9 guys working at about 6 square feet of race car right there. Maybe even less.
You got to be down to about 15 seconds by now. They're going to get maybe one more lap around here before lights are going to go out. They're getting close, but
they don't even have the left front.
They got to keep going on the left front, yeah.
It's going to be quick caution time or no.
And I'm not sure if Bradley Cox is going to make it out. They're struggling on this right front, guys. It's going to be close.
We'll see what Terry Maddox shows here as they come off of turn number 4.
He rolled up the green flag, so lights are going to come out as soon as they come around.
Bradley Cox set to rejoin back here. Yeah, you're right, Clint. The officials back here telling him time to go, time to go.
Time is up. Lights out, field formed.
Boy.
Second try to start. Ty Gibbs needs a caution badly.
Yeah.
So does Bradley Cox, was unable to get pushed off. So 2 cars stuck in the work area. They'll continue on those as we will try the restart again and see feature number 1, Boxall and Gardner. Denny had a struggle on the opening restart. We'll see what happens here as we're green and underway.
Let's see if Gardner can get off the top of 2 a little bit better than he did before. Still hangs it just a little bit as they're bouncing around, but everybody settles down as shooting his way through after getting ping-ponged around. Yeah, Jake Swanson, rough, but he settled her in. We're up and running.
Swanson now going to get eaten up on the bottom. That's Mario Klauser there as Swanson will go to the top. He looked right in front. That's Matt Sherrill, who had a monster day going from C, B to A on his prelim night for Second Opinion Auto and Dan Patricia Harris.
Good news, there is 2 lanes of racing already 1 lap into this. So drivers will have a chance to advance up and around the top. Trying to make that move goes Sherrill as he had the final transfer spot the last time by. It's Beeson to the inside of him. They're both working out. Mario Klauser trying to keep them at bay.
Sherrill selling it out there on the outside. Beeson just running right there in the tire tracks of Austin Wood, who's in that 5th and final transfer spot. Cost of start-finish line, 10 laps to go. J.J. Yaley up there in the Rossi Petty number 3. Up in the 4th position, it's still Boxall, Denny, Gardner.
Then Yaley and Wood. We have that backwards. Wood, then Yaley. Hard to say. I think our transponder system just a hair screwed up at the moment.
Trey Zorn, though, starting to make the outside lane work as Sherrill goes to the bottom, trying to race with Mario Klauser, and Zorn's going to circle the wagons, at least around Klauser, setting his sights on Matt Sherrill, as here's GT Gary Taylor with Mason Hannigan on the bottom and back up toward the transfer spot. Jonathan Beeson, that's the gap between 6th and 5th in the final transfer spot.
So there we go, got her all sorted out. Austin Wood is in the 5th and final transfer position. Beeson is the one trying to run him down in that white with red tail tank number 8 car. Out in front of this, Jacob Boxall, your leader in the 44, sitting in the 2nd place. Happy and content is Jacob Denny. We've got 5 laps to go.
Yeah, Jacob Denny right there as well, just rolling the bottom of this racetrack. Those two starting to really pull away, full straightaway over Rodney Gardner. J.J. Yaley, Austin Wood still holding on to the transfer spot. Laps beginning to wind down as Jonathan Beeson really starting to close in now on the back of Austin Wood in that battle for the transfer spot. As next time around, it'll be 2 laps to go.
There is so much off the bottom of 4, the bottom of 2. The moisture patch is extremely wide, beneficial for him. As time for Beeson at a precious minimum, he's going to have to make up a bunch of ground and put the move on as we're down to the white flag.
Yeah, he's got to hope for Austin Wood to make a mistake. He's not quite close enough to really make a move yet. White flag is out. Trying one more time around. Austin Wood trying to hang on. Jacob Boxell off of turn number 4. We'll see the checkered flag. 5th and final transfer spot. Beeson's going to come up short. Austin Wood will hold on. So it's Boxell, Denny, Gardner, J.J. Haley, and Austin Wood. The 5 cars moving on to the back of B feature number 1. One step closer. What a run for the rookie, Jacob Boxell.
Denny, Gardner, Yaley, Wood finish it out. And forward in the program they go. We'll move up to C number 2. Second C feature is the names will continue rolling onto your screen. As the NOS Energy Drink ramp cam busy back there. Some teams disappointed. They will be going home. A couple of them still got a guy alive. As we'll roll the Donnie Ray Crawford Memorial Foundation 2-seater. We'll take a timeout. C2 coming up next at the 40th Annual Chili Bowl Nationals powered by NOS Energy Drink on FloRacing.
And welcome back here to Championship Saturday at the Chili Bowl Nationals, powered by NOS Energy Drink, live on FloRacing. Kate catching up here with Jacob Boxell. He's going to be moving to the back of the B main, buddy. We were just talking. Really benefits you starting on a pole after a track rework.
Yeah, definitely. When we were pacing around there, trying to run the grease in a little bit, I knew starting on the pole would definitely help us, and all we had to do was not miss the bottom, which as a driver, I messed that up a couple times, but I can't thank all these boys enough that are spinning wrenches and all the crew guy we have. We locked 4 of them into the lower main, or D's and higher, so we've been thrashing these last few hours, and we got, I don't know how Gunner did, but I know we got Matt Westfall going up next, so hopefully we could get another car on the B main and with KT later.
These B mains coming up could be a feature lineup anywhere in America. How aggressive are you going to have to be to try to transfer into the A?
Pretty aggressive, like I was telling you under break. The boss man told me Nerf bars are cheap, so hopefully we can pass some cars. I know we started deep, but I think the racetrack's just going to get racy enough for us to be able to have a legitimate shot at it.
Jacob Boxell, guys, he's going to be moving on.
Man, I like his boss.
Yeah.
Nerf bars are cheap. Put that on a sticker somewhere, would you? Four Kings having a really good Chili Bowl Nationals. They'll continue on. Boxell moves up to the B main, and they still got some more to go coming up in just a little while. C2 is coming up next. BR Motorsports Speed Shot gives us our lineup, and Shelby Hinton and Kyle Jones start down in row number 1. Nick Hoffman and Hayden Wise, North Carolina, makes up row number 2. Ashton Torgerson and Colton Robinson in row 3. Ryan Timms and Trey Marcham in row 4. Matt Westfall and Frank Flood in row number 5. Alex Bright and Zach Weigel in row number 6. Your 7th row is Gage Weldon and Brody Graham, with your final walk-in to this C feature being Trevor Klein, Caleb Stelzig, Dylan Welch, Brecken Reese, Chase Randall, and Jake Newman. The 5 cars moving up from D number 2.
This one will be the C main of when do we switch lines.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
that bottom was wide, fast, and forgiving, because if you missed it by a little, it had a big patch to hit.
Yeah, and I don't think the top's as slow as it maybe seems right now. It's just really dirty. So you hang your left rear kind of in those crumbles, and your right rear's in the grip. So, you know, your car's got to be really, really balanced to make speed up there. And like I said, the bottom's still good, but I'm going to predict that we see that change here in this C main.
How quick?
About halfway. About halfway, I think, is when we'll see cars start to jump up and get that top kind of cleaned off to where you can at least, if you're better than the guy in front of you, drive by him or work your way around him.
You've got some pretty notorious rim riders in this. You also have some pretty notorious I love that low groove guys coming up in it as well. So that should be a fun dichotomy of skill set versus line choice and adaptation.
Yeah, and the bottom of the corners is really good, but the bottom of the straightaways is actually kind of slick. So that's what's going to even this up is you can come out of that moisture on the bottom, and then all of a sudden you kind of hit a slick straightaway unless you start to pin it really low, and it won't take long for that to really slow down that bottom groove. Even though you can get in with grip, coming off the moisture exit is important.
You think the pace truck making all its laps around the bottom makes any lick of a difference?
Doubtful.
Okay.
Doubtful. I mean,
it's heavy, but those tires aren't super wide.
Yeah. There's a lot more race cars than there is the pace trucks, but I don't think the weight of that is enough to affect anything.
Now, if we put, like, I don't know, 22 Hard Rock girls in the bed of that pace truck, or at least another 6 or 7.
Sounds like a party.
Yeah, get a dually. There you go.
Do you guys ever make a hot tub in the bed of a truck?
I have not.
We did it once. It was pretty fun. That's the redneck. That's the redneck white trash Missouri kind of party.
We have hot tubs in Washington just to survive the winter.
Definitely no bush lights involved in that either.
No.
Well, front row for this one is Hinton and Jones. Kyle Jones, just sneaky good in this arena. We're about to see how fast he can really be dueling with Shelby Hinton in the front of this C-Main number 2.
Also in this one,
Hayden Wise.
I was going to say, and then Torgerson and Timms out of the KKM stable were really fast, just went backwards on their prelim night. It was almost bizarre. Torgerson started on the front row of his. Timms got kind of plugged up in the fence on a night that he was projected to contend for the win.
Very slow, patient start coming through the corner. It's Hinton and Jones. Side by side into 1 and 2. Advantage Shelby Hinton. There goes Hoffman to the inside. Nick Hoffman looking to take over second early. Top 5 will be in transfer spots. Wise runs 4. And up top, Colton Robinson in position 5 with Torgerson looking to get underneath him.
There's a big old stack up on the bottom side of the racetrack that is allowing the top lane with Robinson starting to get rolling in. A little bit farther back, you see Marcham following suit there as well. That blue and black number 32. Trying to get this top side worked in, starting to approach the 7X of Kyle Jones.
Cole Robinson might be the first one to it, Clinton, and it's coming fast for him as he comes out of the corner. Down the back straightaway, it's a good run for Jones to hold third for now, but that top getting busy up there. They're making some headway as Robinson looking to continue climbing up this field. Colton Robinson down the back chute. Noses ahead. He's got the speed. He sticks that right rear tire down. Now you're watching Timms to the inside of Wise. That's the final transfer spot. Hayden Wise, the black and fluorescent orange, 94. Ryan Timms, the curb record, 71. Wise upstairs and give the spot to Timms for now. Timms, good down around the low side. Trying to expand it coming off turn number 2, and he'll do so.
Yeah, Wise and Timms, Wise and Marcham both got tight on the cushion the last time. This time Wise to the inside as her and Trey Marcham start to get after it again. One spot out of the transfer spot. Here's Colton Robinson still working on Kyle Jones inside the top 5. That's for third. As Robinson now is going to leave the lane open for his KKM teammate. Here comes Ryan Timms on the bottom.
See if the teammates do some serious battle. Timms smooth. Robinson comes down to protect a bit.
Ashton Torgerson just broke. That car took a hard right turn up towards the wall.
Torgerson was running about 8th before the yellow flag comes out.
That car just whipped to the right.
Guys, what happened there coming out of turn number 2, Trey Marcham almost kind of got up on the bike. He hit something here in the corner, and then he really woed him up, and Torgerson got right into the back of Marcham's 32.
So he locked the rears up, killed the motor. Things snapped back to the right and couldn't get it refired, so a tough break for Ashton, who, like Caleb mentioned, running in the 8th position. Big movers from the back of the field. Chase Randall from the D main, I should say, up 6 positions up to 13th. Dylan Welch from a D up 5, just ahead of Randall in 12th. Both those cars were locked in on the bottom of the racetrack. Was kind of taking a peek there as we were watching the battle up front. So Hinton, Hoffman, Jones, Robinson, and Timms with Wise and Marcham still on the outside looking in back under the green flag. With 7:06 to go.
Careful, Ryan Timms. He was trying not to climb up Robinson and get penalized for passing before the cone. It allowed Hayden Wise to go upstairs and pick up some positions.
Wise is absolutely ripping the top side of this racetrack right now. She is getting after it. Starting to close in a little bit on Kyle Jones, off to the bottom in 3 and 4. Robinson up top again with Marcham. Creeping into the picture now, also too, Zach Weigel and Alex Bright.
Timms catching back up to Wise and Robinson bringing her in as well as we're down to 4 to go. Only 2 of these 3 drivers can make the show as it sits, and we got another one sitting and working the bottom coming up and through, and that's Weigel in the 18 car.
Yeah, Weigel's been there for the last handful of laps, watching these drivers try to pound the cushion and make a little bit of a mistake. Weigel getting that car pointed off in the right direction, gets underneath. Robinson will take the position away. Here comes Hayden Wise again, still working around, trying to get around Timms for 4th, and Kyle Jones for 3rd.
Wise with the adjustment through the corner, slowing the roll of Timms. We're down to 1 to go. Only one of them are going to go into the B main event. Wise down to the low side. Timms going to follow into the corner. There's Weigel, but nothing doing up top as this one is over. And it is Hinton, Hoffman, Jones, Wise, and Timms making their way through. Weigel and Bright, Marcham and Flood with Welch making a charge, but too little, too late.
Yeah, he was really good on the bottom. I was watching the last 5 laps, up 7 positions, just ran out of time. Frank Flood, Trey Marcham up ahead, starting to get closer to him, but great run for Shelby Hinton, Bobby Eastclap Enterprises.
We were at 80 before the start of the C's. We just eliminated 15 per race. There are 50 drivers left alive out of 387.
Getting down to it. Down to it.
B features get big, guys. 20 laps and 7 transfer, and they'll have a chance. They've got a good racy surface here to make some moves, although nobody has come down the ramp yet. So waiting for word on what we're looking at here on our broadcast. 2-seater rolling out to the raceway. As you look at the NOS Energy Drink ramp cam, our race powered by NOS Energy Drink. Big thank you to Laura and all the gang there for everything they do for us and everything they do for motorsports, open wheel pavement, track series all across the country. As we'll check in with Blake.
Shelby Hinton locks into a B main. Shelby starting on the front row, track a little bit fresh. How hard is it to get to your team what you need to now that you're going to have to start to pass some race cars in this B main?
Yeah, like obviously I know track for the B main is probably going to be getting a lot more blown off, especially in the second B main. But I mean, felt really good wrapping the berm. I tried the top after the checkered, and for how rough it is still in 1 and 2, I felt fairly decent. So I give myself a shot, and that's about all I can ask for. It's either going to happen or it's not, you know.
Big year coming up for Shelby Hinton, Caleb, as he'll be full-time with the USAC Amsoil National Sprint Car Tour.
Thank you, Blake. There's Jake Rosario and the Donnie Ray Crawford Legacy Foundation 2-seater giving a ride. 50-50 raffle ticket sales popping off, Chris Wilner. It was up over 175G the last I looked.
Yeah, I'm about to look it up for it again, but while I do so, let's go upstairs to Chris Moore, who's with Nick Hoffman, moving on up.
Yeah, thank you, Chris Wilner. Nick, 3rd time you've made the B main. you didn't leave the bottom there in that C. I don't think you're probably going to have to work through this B.
Yeah, for sure. You're going to have to go wherever they aren't here. And I've been in this situation plenty of times in the late model, but in this midget deal, I just only once or twice. So I don't know. Here, I always suck around the bottom. I just never feel like I can crawl that berm very well. And right there, I was just so nervous to miss the bottom and kind of kill my whole race. So felt like if I would have missed it one time, them guys were going to freight train me. So I was probably blowing my entry up a little bit more than I needed to. Just scared that I'd miss it or screw up, step on it. So yeah, it worked out good there. Right here, you're going to be pretty aggressive, get your elbows up. Obviously, you're racing against the best guys coming up in this B main. Obviously, you got the very best guys in the A, but these B mains are no slouch. So even these C's, just to make the night show is cool for me. And race cars, probably way better than I am right now. I love racing these things. It's so fun. So NOS Energy Drink, Jeff Taylor, Rockwell Security, everybody that does this deal for me. Zach Dom's done a great job on the wrenches for me all weekend. I'm probably letting them guys down a little bit, but man, I'm having a hell of a lot of fun.
I was going to say, you say you're having fun and you feel like you need to get better, but right now, I mean, you're in this thing, right? You got a shot. Do you feel like you can start getting some momentum going forward and maybe pick your way to those top 7?
Yeah, another 5 laps here in this B main makes a big difference, and the racetrack's going to change a bunch. Obviously, we were locked down on the bottom in both of those C's, and I was kind of glad to see that. Starting on the inside lane, I knew I'd be able to probably pick that guy on the front row outside off as long as I rolled 1 and 2 decent and was able to do so. So I wasn't mad that it was locked down around the bottom there, but this B is going to change a lot, and these guys are going to get aggressive. And talking to Larson, we know attrition's going to come into play with guys getting a little too aggressive here and there. So just got to be in the right place, the right time, a little luck fall your way, and, just maybe squeak our way in here.
All right, there you go, guys. Big fender guy, Nick Hoffman, trying to put it in the show here at the Chili Bowl.
Hoffman mentioned that Zach Dom has been wrenching on his car. Well, guess what? Zach Dom is in B main number 1, so he's not up there at the top of the ramp to work on it. As guys, it has been a fun run with Dirt Draft, and we are just about done. Don't forget, we want you to play Dirt Draft with us, and Dirt Draft's going to continue on as we go through. They've had soup contests going on all day long.